This is Pastor Linda Ngumalo. You're watching Growing with Pastor Linda NX. I am with Julie Global Ministries, and we are focusing at the moment on limiting beliefs. So just a quick recap. We had said that limiting beliefs are those belief systems that we carry along with us, that are part of our subconscious mind and indicate the manner in which we then present, the manner in which we show up, the things that we believe in, the things that we believe we can do, the things that we believe we can't do, the things that we believe are obligations for us, and the things that we really feel, this is not me, I'm not able to do this. And we said some of the words that your limiting beliefs are anchored on are things like I can't this, I mustn't that, I shouldn't that, people couldn't, shouldn't, wouldn't, and all the other idn'ts, right? So limiting beliefs are such that they're often negative, and they often impact your life in a manner that is a hindrance and limits you from achieving the things that you should achieve. For instance, a notion such as the women should not preach, and so a female pastor might feel slightly incompetent or almost have imposter syndrome because society and a belief system that exists is that and women should not preach, or girls are not good at maths, or boys do not cry, or boys should not conduct or handle themselves in certain ways. These are limiting beliefs, and they dictate how far a person does or does not go in their lives. Having said that, we've been anchoring this topic on the scripture, Romans 12 verse 2, where it says we should not be conformed to the patterns of this world. You see, it's the patterns of this world that dictate to us how it is that we should engage with the world. It dictates to us the norms, and it creates for us a value system. And often these are limiting, often these confine us to, and this is how society behaves, this is how women behave, this is how young girls behave, and this is what families should look like, and men can behave in a particular manner and women shouldn't behave in a particular manner, and vice versa. And so conformity results in us then behaving in a certain manner. But that scripture says that we should be transformed, and transformation is not change. Transformation means if you began like this, you end up like this. So the start and the end are completely different. I'll make you an example of a plastic bag and a dustbin. That's the first example that comes to mind, but a plastic bag and a dustbin are completely different. So the plastic bag did not just change, it was completely transformed and no longer looks like itself. As a dustbin, it has a different function, it behaves differently, and it does different things. So equally, we are called to being completely different to how we first started or what we were like when we were conformed to the patterns of this world. And the Bible clearly says that, and this happens through the renewal of our minds, which then means, how do you renew your mind? You renew your mind by introducing different thoughts, by doing different things. It's like there's no way you're going to be different while you continue doing the same things. There's no way you're going to be different while you continue to think the same things. When we look at Joshua 1:8, it speaks to the law, which is the Bible itself. It speaks to meditating on the law. It speaks to not allowing the law to depart from your lips, which means whatever it is that you are thinking, you will be focused and you will be speaking it. And while you are speaking it, you're to do so on an ongoing basis. So it speaks to repetition. The only way that we are able to change things, the only way that we are able to establish or entrench new behaviors, new patterns, newness is through repetition. For instance, if you are learning how to drive, the first few times that you're behind the wheel, you're a first-time learner, you worry about so much. You can feel the humming in your ears. You can see a pedestrian and you think, I'm going to crash into the pedestrian. You can hear your heart beating, you can hear yourself breathing, your foot is trembling, and you are thinking, oh my goodness, the indicator, and I must move my hands from the steering wheel to change the gear. There's so many things that are a bother and that are a noise and are limit you from actually moving, because there's so many different moving parts in actually driving a car initially. But you know, once you are no longer a new driver and you can fully drive, you know, when you're learning, sometimes you must actually even switch the radio off, because you must focus and you must concentrate on radio ya rasa, and so you can't focus on the checking the indicator, and the wipers do their thing. But once you can drive, you have the radio on, you've got your coffee in your lap, you've got mascara in the one hand, you're singing along and you're talking on the phone. Why? Because repetition is such that you now know how to do this thing. You are now proficient in doing this driving thing. Equally, renewing the pattern, renewing the mind is about repetition. Repetition of the new thoughts, the kind of thoughts that you want to introduce into your subconscious mind so that you can show up differently. For instance, if you believe, I am a success, I am successful, I'm an achiever, I am orderly, I'm structured, and I operate with excellence. If you continue repeating those actions that indicate excellence, success, orderly structure, and achievement, if you do them over and over and over again, they become habit. And once they become habit, they become entrenched. And once they're entrenched, they become your default position. So equally, the renewal of the mind is about introducing new thoughts and having those thoughts in your mind over and over and over and over and over again until you are fully subscribed to them, until they are fully a part of you. That is the renewal of the mind. Now, limiting beliefs are those thoughts that have already happened over and over and over and over again, that they are entrenched. It's those things that you've seen over and over again, those things that you've heard over and over again, those experiences that you've had over and over again, that then say to you, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, you are not capable of doing this, and they then create limiting beliefs. We're going to pause it right here, and in part 2 we'll be talking about where limiting beliefs come from, and this will give you a clear insight as to the cause of limiting beliefs, and I'm sure you'll be able to relate, you'll be able to identify with some of the limiting beliefs that you might not have recognized, but I'm sure you'll be able to spot them. See you on the flip side.